through all of that. This is so impressive.
So impressive indeed, and holy mackerel. I didn't expect Nextera to be that chaotic. I know that a lot of nation can be gathered out of this map, but how that ended was just like depending on luck, depending on how quick you move. But we've seen Avita XKDC just pull away from everyone else. They did deal with Onyx Olympus, but they took the high ground, even stacked up all those glue walls so that no one can get in on them. And AG Global, the final survivor that was healing, but it's not in the middle of that shift, is really, it could have taken it, but it was really in trouble. So I want to see another one like that, AJ.
I don't see, unfortunately, with the way the cameras were, and we couldn't really see exactly which player it was. But Tawan just got revived. I don't know if he was that final one that made the difference. But like you pointed out, the AG Global player was just a little bit too far away from the circle either way. And these boys were playing the patchwork on themselves with those med kits a little bit too early because they didn't really need to take the gunfights anymore. Chaos had already set in. The circle was closing in, dealing enormous damage. And Avita XKDC managing to survive what could be the most catastrophic circle we have seen in like a long time, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time we've seen that in Purgatory, where there's water involved. But here in Xterra, there's no water. It's just buildings, everyone's still staying alive. And I'm just really looking forward to how much points these seem gathered in there. If only a few HP has been damaged by one specific team or one specific skill, they could take advantage of that situation and then rake up that number to their side. But if it's just the zone who's eating them up, then they might have missed out on a lot of points. So I'm really looking forward to see how it ended in terms of numbers.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I think, through all of that chaos, if you got anything decent, good enough, right? The teams that were taken out way too early, yeah, they're lucky that they didn't need to deal with that mess because it was just I think the heart rate of those players would have been through the roof at that point of time, trying to just deal with all the angles, right? I mean, no matter where you had to look out for. And I think the players of Onyx, they took a jump pad, went straight into the middle of all of that chaos, got shot at by Flash, who was in the perfect place at the right time, but they just could not finish off the Onyx players because of the quickness. Now, we didn't get to see that fight, but I can imagine exactly what happened. The flurry of glue walls that would have come out of the Onyx squad just to survive, pick each other up, because 3 consecutive knocks came on through. Only one was stolen away from AG Global. The 3 players ended up surviving on the side of Onyx. So you can see it's just no moment to think at all in that situation. Everybody just had to act. And I think that was the best match to prove exactly what this server is like, man.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, Southeast Asia is crazy. And this is just one of those instances that everyone from the chat out there, even other region, would really feel that how Southeast Asia is. But I'm really looking forward to how well they can change it up, because I don't think we'll see Nextera that easily with that kind of situation, though I'm looking forward to it. But with most instances in the battle, they don't eliminate the squad a little bit early in that match. I'm not quite sure if that's just the tactics of the team or it's just the map itself. But as we look into game highlights right now, let's celebrate our MVP. It's Pablo from Avita XKDC with 7 elimination, 3366 on a damage, and also wears at M590.
Absolutely, man. And of course, the top 5 eliminations here as well from Cypher and the Best, both having 8 eliminations each, followed by Pablo, Nameless, and Limit having 6 and 5 eliminations. And one thing in common between all the top 5 eliminations is it came from every single Thai team that's playing within this group combination. AG Global, Avita, Twisted Minds, as well as Falcons. The Booyah team stats, on the other hand, Cassie A124, Nero, Oscar. Because of some of the camera angles, we're just not able to see a lot of the active skills and their activation this time around in these battles, Neptune. But one thing that we could clearly see was the usage of the Valiant Dash as well as the electrotherapy off of Pablo.
Yeah, and this is what you have been pointing out from yesterday, the use of Olivia as well. It's Pablo and Tawan using that Olivia, and if I'm not mistaken, there's always connected to the hip. So I'm really looking forward to how the meta can be shifted because of that ideation, and it is working and in this instance. But elimination-wise, the numbers-wise, it's just Pablo who's bringing that much. 5 elimination coming from Tawan, but not so much for Long Kong and Anusi. But we've seen so many knocks coming from Long Kong from a distance because he's a sniper of the team, but it's a conversion that they need to work on.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they've been able to convert fairly well. Vita XKDC yesterday, they were very aggressive going in for those pushes. Today, you can see a little bit of the more passive side of Avida. And I like this because it's not passive to a point where they are avoiding those engagements. They're still getting into some scuffles throughout the fight. And speaking of Thai teams dominating the top 5 of the eliminations, look at them dominate this first match standings here. All Gamers Global, Avida XKDC, Twisted Minds, Team Falcons in the top 4 with 29 and 28 points going to All Gamers as well as Avida. And this is the one that I talked about randomly. I wanted to see how the interaction between Avida as well as All Gamers Global would be. And the gods of RNG literally gave it to me in the same game, Neptune.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how well Avida fortified their compound, but AG Global was not phased at all. The moment that they know that they couldn't push against Avida, they went into the other compound, taking the second floor, but it's just unfortunate that they were a little bit delayed as that shrink happened. But as we look into the overall standings, Avida XKDC taking the lead right now against AG Global, only with 3 points, but I guess this can easily be fixed by AG Global right now, especially with how these players has been showing up. Sypha with the movement, Do with the snipe, and there's a lot more to see out of this battle, especially in upcoming maps.
Yeah, man, and this is the season for Dew. We can see his snipes are hitting like they really show no mercy at all. Yesterday, in one of those matches, I'm sure you watched that, Neptune.
Yeah.
AG Global got 19 eliminations and 0 placement points. That was just bloody ridiculous, and that's just how good AG is when they're going out for the hunt, right? And I think that yesterday they just encountered too many of those situations that they did not plan, that they just had to react to, respond to in that very moment, and Dew performed very, very well. This time they were playing it a little bit more careful as they were rotating into the circle, so they get around the same number of eliminations, but with placement points.
Yeah, and the one thing though, I mean, it's more of Sypha who did so much of that. It was game number 4, 10 elimination out of the guy, and the rest who just took the 9. And that's one thing that we want to see even more coming from him. And I've seen the chat, and I was part of the chat from yesterday. I've been in there, and then there was just Sypha everywhere. So I really know, or we really know that this guy has what it takes to take the lead. But let's bring it over to next map, AJ. I guess there's no waiting for the battle to continue.
Nah, we are about to head on into Purgatory. As we head into this map, the big question is going to be who's going to rise up to the top within the day. Earlier on, Magna, teams like PE Sports, anyone can dream, EVOS, they all got eliminated way too early. The biggest task for them this time around is just going to be survive the first 90% of the game, because earlier, if you survive 50%, it wasn't enough.
It definitely is not enough. But as we look at the flight path right now, coming from Crossroad, heading into Lumber Mill, Twisted Mind, heading into Moat House, their home ground, I would say, in this specific map. ACD dropping in together with PE Sports, but Magna Sports double back and will be joining this 3-way battle. But they did split up onto Martel Works, so that's a saving grace for the team, making sure that they can survive a little bit more. But Crossroad right now, I don't think anyone would be happy to be here, especially in this early of a fight.
Traps just trying to get lucky there. The Min are patiently waiting with the cord. Cord this early in the game is just gonna rip through your skin, man. Russia snuffed out with a mini Uzi here. Oh, it's just a CQC battle, 50-50. Everybody's on the mini Uzi from the drop, and they are slugging it out between the two. EVOS getting the players on the side of Flash. Oh, so Chill won't pay for that elimination. My goodness me, he did not see that coming.